Hey everyone, welcome back to part 3 of my pre-planning for my trip away to the Gold Coast coming up in only a couple of days. In this video, I'm going to be going over the bike, just checking over the fluids, the tyre pressure, seeing that the blinkers and everything like that works, and everything that you should be doing before your trip away. Now before we go on, I must say that I am not a qualified anything, so take this advice as you will. Also, if you haven't seen part 1 or part 2, feel free to go back and check that out at any time. So this video is what I do before planning for a trip, but if you have anything that you would like to add, please comment below. I do read all my comments and I would love to know what you do before your big trip away. Before we get into the video, we need to address something, and that is what is going on right here. You probably don't know this about me, but along with riding motorcycles, I also enjoy extreme sports. I don't want to go into too much detail because it is quite traumatic, but just know that I was doing extreme sports and I cut my nose. For anybody that's new to the channel, welcome. My name is Brendan. I do moto vlogs and motorcycle adventures. So if that's something you're into, make sure you stick around for this video and many more to come. You can also go back and check out some of the other ones I've done. Now, let's get into the video. Before we get into checking the tires or anything mechanical, I think that we should give it a wash. It's been a little while and it's a little bit dirty, and it will help me see everything a little bit better. Clean. Now I like to start here at the front of the bike by checking the tires. I'll check the front tire and then the rear tire, and to do that I have a tire gauge. Now you'll need to check your own manual to see what your tires should be pumped up to. For me, it's 36 in the front and 40 at the rear. The manual also has a little table because depending on the temperature outside, you go up 1 psi per roughly 6 degrees. The front tire is actually quite easy. You just unscrew the stem, zero this out, and there you go. And that's how easy checking the tires can be. Using this gauge makes it super easy. Now this gauge, it's not the most expensive one out there. It's probably not as exact as some of them can be, but it does the trick. The road light also displays the tire pressure on the info screen. Moving along the bike, I like to check the brakes next. This is actually quite an easy thing to do, as you have a little viewing window on both the front brakes and the rear brakes. So let's have a look. The front brake reservoir is just here. There's a little viewing window on the side here which you look at to see the level. Now you have to make sure that the bike is standing upright when you're doing it. So you sit on your bike, put it upright, really easy to see the front one. The rear brakes, they're just down here. And same thing, you got the little viewing window here, put it upright and you have a look. Now for the rear brake, you may need help, somebody to either level the bike for you or to check it out. So let's jump on the bike and have a look at the levels. So checking the front brake, level looks good. And the rears, I hope you can see. That's it. Checking the brakes, quite easy. All the brakes seem to feel good, so I'm alright with that. Now I don't usually do this, but checking through the manual, it says to check your blinkers and brakes and your lights, so I'm going to quickly do that. Turn the bike on, put one blinker on and check it. Back's working, front's working, now the other side, on, and on. Over here, lights are working, and then we head to the back, check our brake. Looking good. Now one of the final steps is checking my fluids. Oil and transmission. To check the oil, usually I'd run it up temperature. To do that, I usually take it for a ride. Dipstick's right here, you just unscrew it, check the oil. Next to that, transmission, you just need a hex key, undo that one, and you'll be able to check that as well. Mine's a little bit of a pain. Got the O2 sensor here, the exhaust is super close to the oil, so I always get burnt. Again, reading the service manual, and something I didn't know is that you can check it while it's cold. It says that it should read around the mid-range, so that's up to you. I'm still going to check it while it's warm. I'll take it for a ride, come back, double check it all. I'm actually going to head over to a motorcycle accessory place and just see if they've got some better glasses or goggles or something for the trip away. I'm still undecided whether or not to wear the open face, but yeah, I'll make that decision. So I'll head over there now, and then when I get back, it'll be warm. I'll check it, and that way I'm ready to go. I actually forgot that with the saddleman seat, with the saddleman road sofa, I sit up so the wind hits me right in the face. It's
crazy the difference it makes which seat you put on.
Alright, I got myself a pair of Oakley goggles. Let's see how they look.
Look like a Fruit Loop. I'll tell you what, it's clear. I can see pretty well. I think it's going to be ideal for any highway riding, not just on this trip but many more to come, if I want to wear the open face when it's getting too hot. But I'll watch it back in the camera, see how I look. What's your opinion? Do I look like an idiot? I can already tell that some of the comments is going to be, oh, you shouldn't be wearing an open face helmet and it's really unsafe and all that sort of stuff, which I was like that before as well, but sometimes I think with your safety you got to be comfortable as well. Now that that's all done, it's time to go back home and check this oil.
I'm back after that ride and now it's time to check that oil. So, like I said, nice and hot. I'm gonna try and do this with one hand. I need to undo the dipstick. Yep, there it goes. Alright, and just wiped a little bit off, but it's one notch down. So that's good enough for me. The oil's at a good level. I will keep on checking it across the ride, maybe every 500 Ks or at the end of the day, but I'll just keep an eye on it. I'll have spare oil and that's it. Oil checked, ready to go. Part of the preparation for my trip is looking at the destinations and the route I'll be taking. No accommodation or anything like that will be planned. We'll just be doing that on the fly. So what I say now might change slightly. Let's have a look on the computer, which route I'll be taking over the next few days. Yeah, so I'm going to be starting off here in Penrith and taking the back roads all the way to Hornsby, where hopefully, depending on the weather, I'll jump on Old Pacific Highway up until sort of, I don't know, Gosford area or something like that. Jump back on the motorway and head up to my first stop, which is Fraser's Motorcycles, Fraser Harley Davidson, to collect the first chip. On this trip I'm not going to be taking any toll roads. I will take motorways or freeways from Fraser's, jump back onto the highway and make my way up to Port City Harley Davidson, which is in Coffs Harbour. Now, this is the part that's sort of unknown. I don't know whether or not I'll continue on or find somewhere to stay around here, because if I zoom in, you've got the Big Banana and some stuff to do around the place. But if I do end up continuing on, the next stop from there is Gold Coast Harley Davidson. So day 2, we're going from Gold Coast Harley Davidson, if I make it there, up to Gasoline Alley. Now that's just a short ride, 50 Ks. Again, no tolls, and I'm not sure on the Queensland traffic. This is right now, so that could blow out to even more. I'm sort of going to allow an hour for this trip. So this part here is Gasoline Alley up into Morgan and Wacker Harley Davidson, which is just outside of Brisbane. Again, it's only half an hour it says, but I will allow an hour if I want to stop, check anything out. From Morgan and Wacker, this is going to be a bit of a longer stretch. It's to Sunshine Coast. Leaving Sunshine Coast, we're going to head across for the biggest stretch, which is 213 Ks from Sunshine Harley Davidson to Darling Downs Harley Davidson in Toowoomba. From Darling Downs we'll be back to the Gold Coast, which is only another 3 hours. So yeah, there's a few options there. Now, if anybody has any places that they would recommend that I go along the way, please comment below before I head away. I think I head away in 2 days now. So yeah, if you can comment, let me know, hey Brendan, stop at this place, it's awesome, whatever. I'll definitely try to check those comments out and get to any of those places. But as you can see, it's semi-planned. I have a rough idea. I've got a goal is to collect a few chips. There is some more Harley Davidson dealerships further up into Queensland, but I'll save that for another time. Well, that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed it. This video was only a short one, and as I said at the start, I am no master tech. I'm no expert on anything like that, so take this advice as you will. This is just something that I do before my trips away. I'm sure you have your own thing that you do. If you have any tips or tricks, make sure to comment below. And like always, until next time, peace.